working to the beat and the rhythm that can be supplied to us by the Korean production crew. So we're here, a little bit early. What a treat.
Actually, Ferme lied to you. We didn't. We had nothing to do with this.
Ferme.
It's our production.
Ferme.
So we called him out now, but it's also kind of credit for what he does, right? It's like just both ways.
They do a lot. They do a lot. Yeah. We gotta give them a shout out where we can. But also we can laugh at them. And what we can see now is the coming together of this. The best of one at the end of a long day of best of threes to really decide who is going to be moving forward on this upper bracket. BNA have performed better than expectations. BSG, I think, have performed a little bit worse than expectations. 2 OT games. We're only missing 1 total round of all the rounds we could have seen. So, really is a setup of who has that energy to keep playing.
It's funny because after the first series, I think it was you who said, watch this next game, just go to 45 rounds.
I did say
you said
that.
44 or 45 rounds.
Yeah, we're on 44.
So the 44 is still on.
Yeah, I did say that after, obviously it had to go this way. We set maybe a record for the quickest game ever earlier on in terms of that first map. And then we find ourselves here. Or what is, and again, it's not even that it's like long, full sort of throw yourself at the wall best of threes. They're slow rounds. For all the plants that are going down, there was about 6 or 7 in the previous map. All of them were in the final 15 seconds. None of them were really like smash and grab steals of plants. We could not have gone from a shorter series to a longer series. So here we are.
So Lotta actually went to rewatch the game with a stopwatch next to her.
Right.
To get the full length of that first map. And it was with the banning phase, 22 minutes and 14 seconds. So that's the exact.
That's got to be a record.
Oh, Lax said that he had the quickest one against the winning nip on the Paris 6 Invitational back then, which was 20 minutes according to him.
Oh, Laxing said that?
Yeah, it said Laxing, but I mean, he said like around 20 minutes, so it could be like 23 minutes. We don't know. We can give an exact timing, so.
This is a statistician stuff. Where's Fresh? Fresh! In your many
said
sheets.
He doesn't track it, so.
Rabuni!
Yes. Disappointing.
We have some time.
Did that with a little bit of malice.
It's all good. Now, we are, of course, playing over the top floors here. There's a bit of an extension into the exhibition room. Not the actual sign, we are in tea and karaoke. And BSG, they'll be onto the attack again to try and figure out if they can crack this hole. Hit themselves with yet another plant on the board. So far, 50 seconds have gone away. Nothing really has been done, I say, as this like gets Crazy Boy from the window. That's a great start for BNA.
Great start. First body. Crazy Boy. However many times we can highlight the all or nothing gameplay, getting taken out in that situation as the ace is never good. You want to be able to start cracking open the back end walls and, regardless of which way you try and force the push into the site itself, the only real option they have now is to try and take up top flat and eke in and sneak your way around, which will start here. Gaki has been a great player. You and Manic talked about them a little bit of the performance that they've put in as a deciding factor, and if they can try and win this fight against Baguette, who has been a little bit more hit and miss, but the hit has usually been on his defense, be the start of the tell. There's a Talon shield that's going for a push. He smokes himself down, and he almost pulled it off. He got a lot closer than he should have based on changing weapons with the motion. That is the body they can back in and deploy the Selma on the far end.
And there's going to be that Talent shield out there in the middle of the hallway that's just going to be turning Yibo into a bit of a sentry out there. Supreme going to find a kill into Jim. It's the second one to be on the board for BNA, and so far this round has been, back and forth as well, just kind of like the games have been for the entirety of the series so far. Skaki's coming in from the back. He's going to see if he can maybe try and flank one of these players or use a grenade from below to get rid of some of these stronghold positions.
And the Talon shield is creeping its way, and you know, as I said, if a plant's going to go down, I think for either of these two teams, it's happening in the final 10 seconds. Supreme is ready with the crossfight. Throws the impact, destroys the Talon shield and the Ossa behind it. Great play. The grenade will get the response, though. However, now, Vamos, you've got to see if you can try and get your way inside the room, inside the building. You lost your ace as the lead in. It's a bit of an awkward push here with the wall still standing. So instead, drives into the other side. There's gold. There's the trade out. There's a person with a kit. They're going to see if they can stick the plant, but it goes to time.
It's saving the KD right there. He's like, nope, not giving you the honors. All right, well, plant attempt again. Yeah, last 15 seconds to come through, and losing the ace there truly hurt because they find themselves in that little area between the outside door and the back stairs, and there's 2 reinforced walls next to you. How are you going to open that? Well, usually you sell them. If you lose your ace that early on, well, that wall's going to stay shut. You need to find a different way in. And the longer those talent shields are down, the more likely an impact will come around the corner and just destroy it with you right behind it. So BNA responded well to that threat. We're able to maintain the superiority in that round. And then now over towards the opposite side. Now, I highlighted this during our little desk segment where especially the A bomb site walls, exterior ones, could be problematic. Now, what we usually see is by European teams, they leave one soft. They put a small little angle down below so they can impact trick the exterior of it. It's not going to be happening now as they reinforce it all off. They put bandit batteries on it. It's kind of a place and forget thing. Just hoping it will stay closed for now. Of course, no Thatcher being used. It's going to be making it even harder for BSG to try and destroy that part.
Attackers are moving to defuse a bomb.
I guess they, you know, you can get in underneath on the bandit as well. It's one of the reasons that you'll see teams sort of avoid going for the hold, because if Vamos just tucks in underneath with those, you know, with any of the gadgetry there from the Zephyr, it's very easy to stop that. Same as bandit tricking this as well. It just takes a timed grenade to come in from outside. You don't have to enter the building to remove utility on either of these two spots, which is why you don't see them tricked as often. They can be, but if it happens more than once, then it's really a slip-up of the attackers.
Yeah, that's it. Like, you can get away with it once, but if you do it twice, then you're just playing against an attacking team that is unable to deal with the tricks to come through. There's BNA, small amounts of damage done into Supreme, but nothing really to worry about just yet. BSG just trying to get themselves closing around the building as Supreme actually takes down Gaki, and another player gets spotted inside the bedroom. There's going to be 2 players looking to go for a bit of a fight here as a grenade gets pulled. Might find success, but it gets opened up by the Sophia instead. It creates the angle for Jin to just come in and take down J1.
As I said, you know, you put the pressure on underneath. If you want to get rid of those bandit charges, they try to play that player against that, but there's a reason that site is very rarely played, the site that exists down there, because it's just torn up. You have windows and doors that lead in from either outside, and now they have the freedom to try and swing around here. The grenade goes towards the trick spot. Doesn't get the full bite onto Tammy. Always gets caught in the vertical. He wanted to swing into the action itself, but they couldn't quite get the connection. Now as they pull themselves back out.
So Tammy wanted to go for a quick trick there, but it's too late. Can opener already opened it all up. Now that means there's going to be a wall for them to try and go through after, of course, they destroy the Azami barrier on the other side. For now, still a 4-on-4. 55 seconds left. No real entry into the building for any of the attackers, so they need to be pushing themselves through some choke points here, and it seems like it's mostly going to be coming down from the wall side of things.
With barely any time left on the side of it, though, 40 seconds, and they got to see if they can try and make that connection soon. As I said, it's such a long game between these two teams. Nothing happens quickly. Everything is measured, and Sky does play in that. There's one body that they're able to take. They're able to find themselves a bit of safety for the plant itself. It's a 3 versus 3, though, but they're holding on to the plant. They have to cover. They spray through, and the position away to Crazy Boy. He gets that kill, nets, and gets out of there. You can watch this from the rappel itself. It's a very solid position. The Azami wants to lean into the fight. Gets caught out from behind. BSG respond. 1 apiece.
That's also what I said. Like, as soon as that wall gets opened up and the one the opposite side gets opened up, it's just going to be like long sights that get them the kills, which get them the round. Being unable to keep them closed, well, that basically hurt them most there. That's why we usually see a soft wall with an impact trick on it. You open the part of the wall that is most or at least important to keep, and you reinforce the other one. But 1-1. Again,
Defenders,
keep
protect
trading.
your bombs from being defused
Nothing's
by
lost,
attackers.
nothing's really gained. And we go for the same side again. They're not wanting to go to a first floor side. B&A. Realize that there is something they could do better, so they're going to try and attempt that now. And again, like if you take a look at the player down below, the Zofia impact came on the wall. Somehow seemed to be fully unaware of the fact that that wall was opened up and stood in a position where it was easily taken care of. That awareness, if that's just a little bit better, you might have been able to take the fight there. Maybe take someone else with
10
you.
seconds left.
Throughout this game, I'm going to track
5 seconds left.
how late plants go down. I'm going to track how long these
Attackers'
rounds
objective
go
is to
before there
defuse the
is
bomb.
that objective play, because there's always that sense of satisfaction of being proven right, and I really do believe it's only going to be that final 15 seconds every single time. Yeah, there's none of those smash and grab plays. There is. One peek though. Goodbye. Copy.
Supreme and Jin. It feels like this game has been between them quite a lot as well, this game. Both of them with incredible numbers on the board. I would almost go as far as say is whichever team wins, that respective player is going to be MVP of this game. They've just been constantly in the fight.
I don't know.
Stealing
I think
each other's
Gaki
positions
has
as
been
well.
I think Gaki's been a
He's been
big
as well.
impact for BSG. There's the talking the trick. There's the play that I said. It's pretty impossible to trick. They were brave, trying to stick it there, Tammy, but
Keep up,
you know the wall gets popped open.
And now trying to push in from the balcony itself. Claymores being deployed. Just to make sure that these jump outs will not really happen. And you know, as he quickly pulls out afterwards, just to make sure that that bit of pressure is down there. That there's something of a security measure that needs to be taken care of by B&A if they want to go aggressive outside, exteriorly. Eki outside is looking to go into restaurant, has a ping, looks to answer it, but if he would have continued with the swing, he would have had a free kill onto Isla, it seems like. Now the flashbangs are starting to come through. He's trying to rotate out, and the player from the pantry will be shutting him down. Crazy Boy gets that kill. And that means trades on the board. A minute 15 left. That means there's about a minute left before that plant will start to go down. They still get themselves properly set up. You see it right now with those keeper barriers right behind the dragon. It's going to be making it very difficult to get rid of that player.
50 seconds. You have them trying to find anything that might be on the opposite end of drum. They're looking for this sort of flat push and flat clear across the top. They want to force those tricky players out at the far end. Crazy Boy and being an operator in a position you wouldn't really throw that operator. Name a better duo. They have a second hard breach, but having the ace going around doing the sort of face-checking body plays underneath is a Crazy Boy-esque decision, but they're ready to back up on the swing. The sledge is going to lead with a grenade. J1 is trying to get the bite into the players on the back. They're putting a lot of pressure onto Dragon. They're able to take care of Supreme on the swing. Gaki gets one more, but here we are. Look at the timer. Moves away from the grenade. Wants to try and pop up and takes care of Crazy Boy. Tucks themselves further and further down. They're running out of time here. Baguette's able to get one more. They can't quite get themselves all the way into the site. They're over on the top of VIP. They've just got to see if they can try and charge to get these kills, but time. Over 2 rounds, 2 of them have ended to it. Or 3 rounds even, 2 of them have ended to it.
I'd definitely like to last, you know, the full 3 minutes in these rounds. Make sure that the viewers at home are going to get every single little bit out of it. Whereas it does hurt you if you're on the attack, you have to make sure that the diffuser is going to go down at some point. B&A now have the advantage, single round. Let's see if they can build on it, because we haven't really seen that happen, like a team getting a massive advantage, because they just kept trading. I believe we are going back to karaoke and T.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many
There you go.
bombs as they
Has
can.
been unlocked, and thus they choose it. And the last time this kind of went south due to the early loss of Crazy Boy, who was also the ace. Because they wanted to get a plant in with the Ossa. So for now, it's going to be a completely different kind of approach they're looking for. No Ossa, no ace. Going to see the Thermite to be picked in, but also the Amaru on Crazy Boy. Oh, never mind, get swapped out. I was going to say, it fits his personality, right? Like the go big or go do nothing. It's with an Amaru, especially in...
Go big or go do nothing.
Go do
Usually
nothing.
it's go big or go home.
Yeah. Well, I was going
But
to say,
go
it doesn't
big or
quite
go
home
do
yet,
nothing.
right? Yeah.
Attackers are
It's
heading
like
out
a
to
it's like a
defuse bomb.
crueler way of putting it, I think. Go big or fail.
Well, that's it. But he went for the 0 instead. I was just going to say, it fits his playstyle, considering, you know, when I have an Amaru in ranked, not saying that this is ranked, they either get like a 4K by rappelling through the window, or they get nothing at all and instantly die in the first 10 seconds.
Yeah. I mean, I will always remember I was playing with a stack that included, I think, Fresh was there and a demo. Picked up the Amaru and says, I hope you're ready for a 4 versus 5, and zipped right into sight. And I believe got 1 kill before they got dropped, but that's the energy that your Amaru has, you know?
It's like a risk you're willing to take and a sacrifice you're willing to make for the team at the same time.
The risk they're willing to take.
Yeah, not the team, just the Amaru. Now, some breaches on the opposite side of the map. Chems from the 0 are being held, but won't quite spot anything. It's just there to be a bit of a flank watch. Make sure no one's coming around on like a late flank again after you have so many of your players around on this side of the map, because right now it's just 2, it's Jin and Crazy Boy sitting there. Be a shame to lose them that early on or later on. You want to go for a setup, when you want to go for an execute. I'm just kind of wondering what they exactly want to go for, because obviously there's no real pressure coming towards Geisha right now. It seems like they're just going to be focusing on the 2 shields that are going to be on the choke points behind the big white wall. J1 is on one side of it. He's going to have an opportunity to go for a big fight here, as I don't think they know where he is currently. Oh, this... Luckily he's a Gemini replicator out there, but he's definitely being distracted by it as the next player just pops up trying to, you know, act on the back of it.
I mean, the grenade goes around to the back, they swing on the back of it, and able to find a kill, but took a lot of time, took a lot of damage and destruction, and Supreme still slips their way across from the full position. Gold gets rebuilt, and then... Oh no! I mean, good idea. Poor timing. There's the pop round. Bandit gets 1. There's a player right behind him, though. It's suddenly a 1 versus 3. Baguette. Well, they know exactly where he is. The 1 versus 2. They have the kit. They have the sight. Or at least one of them. There it is. They're going for the plant. Oh, just swings round. They're at least attempting it. That round ended with 22 seconds left.
Oh. There goes a statistic of 15 seconds left on almost every single plant we've had so far.
Close enough.
But we keep trading. That's the theme that does stick. A round for them, a round for the others. I'm so happy that barbecue is just written as barbecue.
Well, I mean, Korean barbecue is one of my favorite delicacies. You had Korean barbecue before?
I don't know if I had.
Oh,
I
it's
don't
so
think
good.
I did.
So good. And you have like a...
Sounds delicious.
They have like the hot plate in front of you at the restaurant. I don't know if that's all restaurants.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Korea. I would love to go. Side note. Side note, if but Korean barbecue, amazing. Love it. It's one of the talent foods. It's actually, when talent goes to majors, one of the places that's always on the list of like, what do we want to find? It's like a good
Korean barbecue.
place. They know how to barbecue.
10 seconds left.
Give the Americans a run for the money.
A universal
5 seconds
language.
left.
Anyway,
barbecue is a
no.
universal language.
Enough about
Attackers
delicious
must
food. Yeah, that's why
locate
it's...
and defuse the bomb.
Enough about delicious food. Back and forth and round we go. I think whichever... if BSG can get 3 attacks, that might be the center of the game. I just attack is the sort of dangerous factor here because, as I said at the start of this match, neither team has been fluidly successful in their attack.
Yes, but at the same time, we've also had even house. Like, you know, 4-2-2-4, 3-3-3-3. So, no matter how it goes, I mean, we're destined for overtime. It's just gonna happen. This is not gonna be a 7-3 blowout or 7-4. You know, it's just gonna be another 14-15 rounds. You said it before. You manifested it.
I did. This is my fault. Take full responsibility. How bad?
Trying to get the anchor points here so they can remove it soft. Not sure who's on the other side of the wall. They're still there.
There you go.
Struggling a little bit getting it. You got that one. I don't think they got the other one, actually.
They got that one, and you hear the audio on it.
And that's very true. Trying to get the bottom. Struggling a little bit. Eventually we'll get it. And now they need a bit of soft to open up that wall so they have a full rotate through.
Do a piece. All 10 players still standing. Who I should document when the first kill comes out as well. Might be about to hear Crazy Boy. Tucks behind Dragon Statue. There's really nowhere else for them to go out, so they need that. Cover support comes. Saved by Jin on the crossfire. All the way across from the double window. Through the soft wall. So very well played and painfully pulled there. Crazy Boy just sort of had to sit and hope and hold on.
We just gave a quick ping. He's like, he's right there. Just go for the pre-fire. You might be able to find him, and it's exactly what they did. They now have that one-man advantage, but it's quickly turned around. Evil gets taken down by Isla. He's now dug in deep. Right next to Geisha. He's hoping to find a second kill. So a grenade came around the corner, spots the head, but doesn't respond to it. Gaki finds Isla. He goes for a second as well. Opens up big for BSG.
Again, Gaki has just been such a deciding factor in a lot of these rounds. It's a 4 versus 2. BNA, they still are inside the site, but if the verticality moves away from you, it can become very dicey. It's finding positions to hold on. The swing comes onto the balcony, but the window is obviously the pressure point. Oh, Gaki is so low, and obviously that's the player with the kit itself. Yet again, look at this. The pressure into the site, 10 seconds, and the person trying to get the plant goes down. It's the 1 versus 3, as I said. The vertical is the important part, but BSG just had that angle. They have their third attack. Another round ends with 7 seconds left.
Vamos just unscoped there as the final defender walks through. If there was a straight-up rotate, he could have made it all the way through, and then he would have missed the opportunity. So, luckily for him, there wasn't, and he had to go through the door. Now, BNA go for a tech timeout. So it's time to talk. 45 seconds is the time they have to do so. 3 attacking rounds have gone to the way of BSG now. And they want to make this a 3-3 split. Otherwise, they're going to be in trouble. Even though they are destined to go to overtime. They don't know that. I assume they haven't heard. But they want to make sure that they put themselves in the best possible opportunities for that second half when they're going over to the attack. Because they also had their own struggles.
Entirely it. I think getting 3 rounds here for BSG could be a deciding factor, regardless of whatever fates I've thrown up. Oh, this is my fresh one. And at 4-2, and, you know, I think we'll just have a shorter second half at this point. It really is an attack struggle sort of day. Everything is late. Everything is come down to a bit of a slog here. And although they had a good pace before, Skyscraper can take a team with good pace and add on a minute to everything that they want to do. So,
attackers need to locate
you
and
know,
defuse
it
bombs.
is the slow and steady brawl that BSG just might have been able to eke over here in the first half.
Very important 6th round then. To decide how big the advantage will be for BSG. So back towards the exhibition side of things. We saw how effective BSG could be here. On the right openings have been made and the right kind of flushing is being done. Crazy Boy is playing on the Amaru. Hasn't swapped off yet. There's 8 seconds left for him to do so. Lost his drone. That's the perfect moment, but it seems like he's going to be sticking. And that means if they get that verticality from down below, well, he might just find himself in the middle of the site with that shotgun, suddenly wreaking havoc in the midst of him. So the Thatcher's there to help open up the walls.
I mean, if Crazy Boy pulls off a Crazy Boy play,
Attackers have dropped the bomb diffuser.
it would be a way to end the half. It would be good to break the momentum of what's otherwise been, said, very slow. Cautious is a way of putting it.
All right. Important drones now. Need to know how many people are downstairs. Has one person spotted? See the hunt already going down. People are headed towards the windows of the kitchen to see if they can maybe flush them out a little bit. Get themselves in a good advantageous position. He will hop, instantly open up, double, and the stunts come out right afterwards as well. And that means that wall will open up successfully. That's what you talked about before. The Sophia using all that utility on that wall together with an EMP to make sure nothing is being caught by any magnet or ADS that could potentially be out there. And they open up the VIP wall without any trouble.
It's just always going to happen, you know, and Temi hasn't really been able to have a great half here. They've not got the option of playing against the Kaid, but even just moving to a slightly different location, even just trying to build behind the back of it, they held it. Don't get me wrong, they've held VIP successfully before, but it's not because of that wall, it's because of the rebuild on the wall that Supreme's done, you know?
Joan very important in this current position out here because he's stopping Crazy Boy single-handedly. The shotgun's coming around the corner. Will he get it? Yes, he will, but he's very low on HP right now. Basically cannot afford to rappel up through the hatch, especially since they know what operator it is right now. They will be watching for it. They will be ready for it. At least the entry kill is going to be BSG's, and that is very important in and of itself. Who has the opportunity to just hold it down from below right now as he's moving around his drone, trying to find some extra information for his team. And once the trick is ready, well, this is why you would usually bring a second heart breach, because then you can open up regardless of which is being tricked. That's not going to be the case right now, but Gaki will find Islet.
Well, the 5 versus 3, and they're able to get rid of that extra exothermic. And as you said, you know, you can get that kill on the back. They've lost a lot of bodies. So holding one wall does not a round make. So there's the secondary. Just roll out and make sure they get the route through, but 28 seconds of 5 versus 2. Supreme caught by the grenade. And Crazy Boy with the shotgun kill to end it. 4 rounds on their attack there. That one ended about 17 seconds. I'm still tracking. But it's just, you know, the pressure is now massively on BNA. It is the uphill. There's no two ways about it. BSG just need to try and lock down a little bit solidly and not do any silly moments.
That's it. They need to just keep it tight now. Keep their defense properly organized. And this is where the true difference comes in. We've just seen that first half. Now the second comes in. This is where both teams can differentiate themselves from the others. Just quickly looking at the operators out there. The Warden is going to be there. Zami, very important. Bandit to keep some walls shut. Question there is, will Gaki be actively tricking, or is it going to be a matter of place and forget about those bandit wires just to make it a little bit more difficult for BNA to get through? I did not bring in a Thatcher, but it could be bringing EMP grenades, possibly. So maybe that's going to be their approach. Or otherwise, you're going to have the Sophia coming in from below and just fire impact grenade at it. Very heavy towards the side of the map, though. There's a single person on the side.
Okay, BNA, where is that pace? I complimented it at the very beginning of this series, but it has been a long series. They are on the back foot. First time in a while, they haven't really been able to get some instant responses, but then remember it was a 4-2 half once upon a time, and then they bit back, make it the full 4 apiece. The very beginning in that first map. So they have a chance now on these first 2 rounds. The quick break the pressure onto these players a little bit loose. They're looking to try and isolate the fight. Move a body. Earlier on in the game, usually it's been later engagements. I think outside of one spawn peak, it would be the first kill in the opening minute.
Very close to being picked up early there. Crazy Boy, the C4 comes out. It's a double kill potentially in the making as he finds just one. The other steps away just in time, and it's now a 4-on-4 situation. Another kill to come through onto Jin right beforehand. Very important to keep them in the game right now. These shields, however, are going to be problematic for B&A to deal with. They need to use those RC Roteros, but Yibo, being where he is, can quickly just swing out, so they need to double team on these shields.
I mean, they know exactly that someone's behind there. Baguette wants to just pop utility, but as you said, there needs to be some secondary support, and the Flores drone is going to be that. Losing your Azami, losing your Thermite, it's kind of equal hands, and that's irritating for both teams. You've lost your bit of a root and a Graith. Maybe the exothermics might have been popped beforehand, but either way, the Azami, no more construction, no more of that sort of mid-round growth and control.
Reinforcing wall!
Gold reinforcement successful. So is Temmie's take. He is able
Bomb located by
finally
attacker.
find his first kill of the game.
Definitely going to be needing it on the side. B&A just having everybody fire right now because it is slowly starting to slip away from them if they don't. Now, the players of BSG are in quite good hiding positions. We have one in Geisha, one near gold. Farmer's all the way on the back stairs, has a good opportunity to play this quite silently as well. And as rotates are being made, I wonder if they know about Keki's position. Flashbangs are going through. Shouldn't flash him, actually, so it's still completely visible. Gets that kill instantly. Swaps with a second, which he finds as well. A third shows up in the hallway, and he's going to be looking to take that fight as Supreme finds Vamos to keep it in a 2v2.
Huge play there from Gaki, but now it is just Gaki left. Has to try and thread on two more, but Baguette had the watch. B&A break across. Are able to get their first attack here. Suddenly that 4-2 gets a little bit thinner because there's a bit of pace.
So like a challenging on the side of PSG there. Like we see the challenge, of course, coming down from Gaki. He's bringing those gunfights. He's actively fighting. But the other two are hiding in corners, which means that Baguette just had a free opportunity to walk through into the site, find one, and then swing into the second player, leaving it only up to Gaki, who's then trying to go back to the site, but has no clue on what is exactly being watched already then. So they need to bring the fight a bit more as a whole. When you have that big of an advantage, either everybody just stays put and does nothing, or everybody's making sure that you waste as much time as you can to stop the likelihood of a plant to come through. I mean, you said before, like, most rounds end around 15 seconds left on the clock. If you can waste that by just shoulder peeking it every now and then, by just letting them worry about you might swing them, they're going to be even more slow. They're going to lose even more time. But if you just sit in the corner and don't do anything, they have the freedom to just move up on you.
10 seconds left before
To cut the
insertion.
pie, find the angles that they need.
5 seconds
So that's a bit of criticism to come through. Of course, there's nothing they can do with that
Attackers are
now.
moving out to
So
locate a bomb and defuse it.
just need to figure that out in the game. I believe that BSG's actually opened up one of the walls, like we talked about before, which means they can impact trick the exterior wall. Sure, it stays closed. Well, that's the site, but you know that they like to play here.
They do. They like to sort of have those positions, and you know, I think BSG, as weird as it is to say, because they had that stretch on defense, because they had the players across the top and they offered fights earlier on, it almost like a leash. They just tugged the attackers in on one route and said, follow us, follow us. And, you know, for all the compliments I've given B&A on their approaches, their actual closeout on the site was always the riskier thing, and they're almost guided into one that last time round. That sticky. The Zephyr charge doesn't get the bandit that is tucked as far into the corner as possible, but Supreme can just do that. Gets rid of it. Instead, that wall is going to get open.
Openings indeed will be made on the opposite side of the map, and as a minute and 10 have passed, it seems like the exhibition side is cleared of any defenders out there, but they're quickly confirming with the drones just to make sure there's no one there to strike them in their backs. Now the next worry comes up though, and that's that big divider around the big white wall with the Kiba bearers, with some shields out there. Really wasting a lot of time and utility for B&A to get control of. As if they fail to do so, well, there's just no moving on to the next area.
Peppering bullets over the top of the shield. Oh, great take by Yeeble. They sort of fade away out of the room. They fade away the head of the attacker, and a bit of a regretful moment there. They did everything right so far, but a minute on, One body down. They've taken some control here of one side of this, but Drum is the other, and you sort of have to get a handle on both at the same second.
Bomb located by attackers.
The trick coming through. Jack is keeping that one locked up. Again, playing Engage. We saw a great double kill here the last round. Again, he's looking to see if he can make an impact. Flashbangs come through, but won't find him. He's quickly looking if there's going to be a jump in. Now there is. He's going to be too late. The Thermite sneaks past, completely blinded actually. Soma finds the kill onto Gaki. And that opens up an opportunity for BNA right now to walk through.
There's just a lot of spraying, a lot of trying to hit soft. Islet goes down. Crazy Boy's able to get the shotgun locked onto one. Jin suffers a bit over the top and over the top. With Vamos holding onto one angle, it is truly back and forth. Yeeble gets another, but 13 seconds, a 2 versus 2. Yeeble is still flirting with the side of sight. They want to get a plant in just on that, but Vamos is the one that can stop this right now. If they don't know about Vamos, this could be the end of the round. The hop in comes. They're tucked behind the hard wall. They don't even have time. They
not have the diffuser? And it didn't move anymore. It's not like they were trying to find a better spot because... Well, that's questionable, but it is going to be 3-5 for PSG, who are expanding on their lead on the defense here. I mean, the crossfire was set up, so we always had the opportunity for the goal player to step out, find the kill onto the player planting. It's most likely going to go their way anyway, even if that plant was about to go down.
Defenders, protect your bombs
We move
from
on
being defused by attackers.
to round number 9, where PSG have the opportunity to find a series point of themselves. Now, they haven't had one of those yet, just the map points. And that really will put that pressure up on BNA. They have been very closely matched to another, but it seems like when the site swap happened, PSG is just going to be able to get a little bit of more out of it. As the 7th round was quite close. The 8th round window away, now onto the 9th. Or again, back towards exhibition.
5 seconds to insert.
The opening has been made in the wall, just to use those impacts to keep it shut.
Attackers must locate and defuse a bomb.
BNA want to keep themselves off of map point for as long as possible. The map is favored towards the defenders. They're able to take their first swing onto Karaoke there, whatever happened. I mean, I wasn't even looking for whoever had the kit, but I guess they didn't have it. The rebuild to reinforce. Quite funny. Second time we've seen that. This time they weren't grenaded.
That's being set up. There's the breach.
There you go.
It's going to be making sure that they can actually try and push through again. I mean, I said it before, as soon as that auto wall opens up, it's just a matter of trying to find the angles and trying to flush out the defenders. And usually you see the attack be successful there, but as long as we have people around below and in the dragon statue, it's going to be quite difficult to take VIP under your control.
Well, Supreme's able to get one, and they changed their mind about going for the reinforcement, maybe because of where they lost that body underneath, hopped in. The pressure that I've talked about on this site before is suddenly anything that you've put up on those walls becomes much more weak as a hold. Trying to keep their options alive, trying to just find out where that first thread, that first bit of attention is going to be paid towards. It's still being weighed up by BNA. They've got presence outside of VIP, the top of house stairs. They've got presence on the opposite wall and the opposite end, with the Iana trying to creep up underneath, and also with, I think, the sledge that is underneath as well. They really need to start coming up with which route is their route.
It's definitely not beneficial to have multiple players downstairs with a minute left on the clock and you needing to go to the site. I can only see 2 people near the actual breach, and it is being watched, so as soon as you do walk through, someone's going to be able to at least try and fire upon you. Do their best to shut you down. The fuser gets dropped as they don't want it to land in the middle of the open. If there's Sophie on the opposite side on the Samurai window, grenades being sent in from below, but they have no idea on where these players are, so they're just going in blind, hoping to find something. First one will fill. Opening up just to toss a second grenade through or find the long angle. Now they're getting some red pings, but will they be successful? That's that question. It seems to be not the case.
Attackers recovered the diffuser.
30 seconds. You've still got players underneath, they've still got the same problems they had when they started this a minute ago, which is how do we actually get our boots into the site itself? They forced the BSG players slightly further away, but
15
Vamos
seconds
is still where Vamos was. Crazy Boy is in the middle of a site, which sounds like Crazy Boy, and they're going to see if they can try and sneak the plant. On the back end of it, Vamos isn't able to get the lock onto it. Crazy Boy can't stop the plant, and Baguette getting one more. The spray through. Plant comes down in the final 10 seconds once again. And just torn up their Vamos, breakdancing as much as they could, but there's only a single player left here. A flawless from BNA.
I have one question.
Yeah?
What was Vamos looking at?
We're back.
We are
and we're
back.
Yeah, we're back. 4-5.
Just did not
They did
play
not.
around.
No, they, I guess, rehosted the whole lobby, as you can see from everybody's oohs. Everyone's on flat zeros. Nobody has any kills or contribution to the game. They rehosted the whole thing, so we wouldn't miss anything. How nice. How kind.
How kind of them.
You know when I was like, this
So-
is going to be a long
Before
game?
insertion.
You said 44, 45 rounds, so I'm prepared for
5
it.
seconds left.
Oh,
Attackers have located
oh.
a bomb.
I didn't expect that to happen.
Attackers are moving.
My
to
bad,
defuse the
gang.
bomb.
I'll take the responsibility.
Get 1 point of your prediction if it gets to 44 points, so. Rounds.
I do. Do I get like a bonus point? If BNA win and I get the round count of my prediction, can I get like a bonus point for me?
I would say yes.
You're not Ferme, but I trust you just the same.
So, quick break then for all these players. That means that they can talk to each other during tech breaks, which means that, you know, just a prolonged say nothing break. Hope that everybody gets to calm down a little bit, make sure they're ready for the next round. Of course, BSG, they're 2 rounds away from closing out this series. They were the favorites for this. They lost that very first map in overtime, and they won the second map in overtime. And now they want to prevent this from going to another overtime. So, BNA on the attack, looking to close up again. We need to see again. I'm going to mention that BSG, they need to be more on the lookout for these players just walking in, because it seems like only Gaki was doing so.
Baguette's trying to get rid of the utility on the far end of it, but can't quite get the angle on that shoot. Very nice place to dig a camera in, because obviously you got to get the side of it without the impact itself. And oh, Jin rifts wide, tears the head off of Temi. Now, although everyone's been reset, Temi took a long time to get their first kill on this game. Only came on attack. They've really struggled to get in to this engagement. On the opposite end, Gaki has done bits in this very position. So, that gunfight's going to start breaking itself apart.
Good shot from Baguette there, taking down Yibo. They're removing a player from the site, knowing goal is clear now. Those corners are clear as well. What does that mean? We can maybe go for our plans if they do decide to open up the wall enough so they can dig themselves in deep enough behind it. J1 taking a bit of damage from a player down below, so has to rotate around. Is looking for an alternate way to take the fight, but Gaki's still alive. He's fighting till the end of his life out here, hoping to find himself at another double, maybe even more, to keep BSG in the lead and push them to a series point. He's in a very important position here in Geisha. It is often one of the main points to attack whenever you are going over the top floor. And for now, they're leaving him alone. They're just deciding that they do not want to deal with him.
Makes sense on the side of the lock-in here.
15
4
seconds
versus
remaining.
3. They have the advantage on their defense. Defender-sided map. There's another. Just misses the fight onto one. Somehow picks the other, but BSG. And the Deke of Crazy Boy gets the end of that.
All right, BSG. Map. Series point. Having the opportunity to lock it off here to put themselves up against Sandbox to decide which of those 2 teams is going to be making it to the major. Once more, they need to hold off. Once more, they need to find themselves with plenty of fight in them as they're headed towards the top 4. I think that's T and Karaoke. And as we do so, of
Attackers
course,
need to locate
again,
and
a
defuse
big
bombs.
divider is going to be crucial. You want to be playing aggressive out there. Of course, behind your shield, behind your keeper barriers, you do not want to take the fight just out in the open on an elevated position because you're going to be sticking out quite much. But with all the utility they have in their pockets, it should be a fightable fight. It should be something they can win. Or at least stall enough time to make sure that the plant will not happen in those final 10 seconds.
It's the tricky ask now for BNA. I said it at the sort of time. BSG getting 4 of their attack rounds. It moves the game. It moves the position of what you have to achieve on this map with how the pace of this game has gone. With how the pace of the series has gone.
Locate a bomb and defuse it.
It is a slow attack game. And I said at the start of this map on the desk is neither team has been attacking that fluidly. The 4-2 half that was sort of put down by BSG has been the best attacks they've been done. And, you know, the 2 that they lost were to time. The 2 that were taken away from them, they were late on everything. But they still pushed it over the line. And it just feels like Sky and how to stop those final moments is one step too far away from BNA.
Timmy gets a great kill to open up. Crazy Boy taken care of. That's going to be opening up a little bit, but they also spot a secondary problem, which is, of course, going to be Jin in that position. Falling back slightly, though, wants to play the divider rather than be around in the exhibition. Waste time. That's the story here. Just make sure that they do not have a free way through to the site. Also don't want to give away all your buddies and make sure it's going to be a 5-on-3 when the execute hits, because that's also not going to be working out for you. Openings into Dragon will be made. Openings into Terrace will be made as well. And now we're on to removing the shields and to remove the keeper barriers, of course.
I mean, this time didn't lose a player on the swing round. Obviously, last time they did when they tried to take that shield. So progress, as much as it might be slight, piece of steel progress. On the back end of that, though, with 1:30 and with Drum, the next point to get control of. Yeah, a little bit of a... Not quite going where they wanted it to.
It's a bit of a whoopsie. There's a block of the door with it, of course. Instead, J1 will have a free way through. Isn't the RC Terra? It's probably going to be opening up either to keep a barrier or trying to remove Jin from his current position. Keep a barrier, it will be. Rotates into Geisha. Knows there's going to be a player on the other side of it. Gets an impact down, but doesn't quite confirm Supreme. So instead rotates down the staircase. Gets spotted by a drone, which he will take out. The pressure is definitely on for the side of BNA. They have no opportunity to rest here. And also, being with the Bandit battery still out there, cannot open up that wall.
Hopping around, getting the drone and the lead in, getting that idea what they can get a hold on here, but still, that time ominously ticking. There's only 40, now 30 seconds between them and their run ending here, BNA, and that is not going to help things. The play on the Bandit, the loss on the swing on Drum. They have 2 doorways to try and throw themselves through here, and maybe a bit of an opening onto Gold, but there needs to be a pinch. The player has moved away from the ping. It's Gaki, the eternal problem. Does some damage into the Thermite. There's 10 seconds. They've got themselves close. There's 1, there's 2, there's almost 3. But that is all she has seen. They get 1 kill on the back of it. Can't pull out the goo mine. And BSG, after losing the first map, push this over the line because of time.
A mistake there from BNA, though. Like, they wanted to open up Geisha, forgot about their EMP impacts. What the Storm might do, rotates around, then the EMP impact is tossed. And as soon as he wants to place it, the Bandit battery is back on. And thus they lose the opportunity to walk through. They're forced through a door. They're forced into the MVP in our eyes right there. So